everyone, and welcome to today's episode. My name is Julia, and I'm so happy to be with you. Thank you for joining me on this English learning journey. Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting and important topic: how to talk English without thinking. Now, what does that mean? Many English learners feel nervous when they speak. They stop, they think too much, they translate in their head, and then they try to make a perfect sentence. This takes a lot of time, and it makes speaking difficult. But good news. You don't need to think so much when you speak English. In fact, the more natural you are, the better you sound. Just like when you speak your own language, words come out without you planning every single sentence. That's what we want to do in English too. Speak simply, speak clearly, and speak without thinking too much. In this episode, I will guide you step by step. We will talk about why learners think too much, how you can stop translating in your head, and how to practice so that English comes out naturally. By the end of this podcast, you will feel more confident and you will know exactly how to train yourself to talk English without thinking. So, let's begin this journey together. So, what do we really mean when we say, talk English without thinking? It does not mean speaking without using your brain. Of course, you need your brain. But it means you do not stop and translate every word from your own language into English. You do not try to build a perfect sentence in your head before you speak. For example, imagine you want to say, I am going to the market. If you think too much, you may first say the sentence in your own language, then translate each word into English, then check the grammar in your mind. This takes time, and sometimes you feel nervous. But when you talk without thinking, the sentence just comes out naturally. I am going to the market. You don't stop. You don't translate. You just speak. It is the same as how you speak in your own language. Do you stop and think about grammar every time you speak your first language? No, you don't. The words just flow. That is the goal in English too. So, talking without thinking means speaking in a natural way, without fear, without too much planning, and without stopping to translate. It is like training your brain to use English automatically, just like a habit. And remember, this is not about speaking perfectly. It is about speaking fluently, clearly, and with confidence. Mistakes may happen, but that's okay. The important thing is that you are speaking without fear. Now let's talk about why so many English learners think too much when they try to speak. If you feel this way, you are not alone. Many learners around the world face the same problem. Here are the main reasons. Reason 1. Fear of mistakes. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think, what if I say it wrong? What if people laugh at me? This fear makes the brain slow down. Instead of speaking, you pause and check every word in your mind. But remember, making mistakes is a normal part of learning. Even children make mistakes when they learn their first language, but they still speak. Reason 2. Translating from the native language. Another big reason is translation. For example, if your native language is Spanish, Chinese, or Arabic, you may think of the sentence first in your language. Then you try to change it into English. This takes time, and sometimes the grammar or words do not match. That's why your speaking feels slow and unnatural. Reason 3. Lack of confidence. Some learners know the words, but they do not trust themselves. They are not confident. So, before saying something, they keep checking, am I correct? Am I wrong? This overthinking creates nervousness, and it stops you from speaking freely. Reason 4. Perfectionism. Many learners want to speak perfectly. They want 100% correct grammar, 100% correct pronunciation, and the best vocabulary. But the truth is, no one speaks perfectly, not even native speakers. If you wait for the perfect sentence, you will never speak. So, to summarize, learners think too much because of fear, translation, lack of confidence, and perfectionism. These are the main walls that stop you from speaking naturally. But don't worry, we will learn how to break these walls and speak English more freely. Now, let's talk about the good side, the benefits of talking English without thinking too much. Why is it useful? Why should you practice this skill? Benefit 1. You speak more fluently and naturally. When you don't stop to translate or check every word, your English flows like water. People can understand you more easily because you are not stopping every few seconds. Benefit 2. You sound more confident. Even if you make small mistakes, you will sound confident if you keep talking. Confidence is very important. People usually notice your confidence more than your small grammar errors. Benefit 3. You save time in real conversations. In real life, conversations are fast. You don't have time to sit and build a perfect sentence. If you talk without thinking too much, you can keep up with the conversation and reply quickly. Benefit 4. You improve faster. The more you speak freely, the more practice your brain gets. Your brain starts to learn patterns, phrases, and sentences automatically. This is how children learn their first language, and you can do the same in English. So when you stop thinking too much and just speak, you will sound natural, feel confident, save time, and improve much faster. These benefits are very powerful, and they will help you in school, work, travel, or any situation where you use English. Now we come to the most important part, how to train your brain to speak automatically. This is the key to talking English without thinking too much. Let's look at some simple but powerful methods you can use every day. Method 1. Listen and repeat, shadowing. One of the best ways to train your brain is to copy how native speakers talk. This is called shadowing. For example, listen to a short English sentence like, "How are you today?" Then repeat it right away, with the same speed and tone. At first, it feels difficult, but if you do this every day, your mouth and brain will remember the rhythm. Soon, the words will come out automatically without effort. Method 2. Think in English, not in your language. This is very important. If you always think in your own language first, you will always translate. Translation slows you down. Instead, try to describe things around you in English. For example, if you see a cup, just think, "This is my cup. I drink tea." Do not say it in your native language first. Small sentences like this will train your brain to work directly in English. Method 3. Learn phrases, not only words. Words are important, but in conversation we use phrases. For example, instead of just learning the word market, learn the phrase, "I am going to the market." Why? Because when you remember a full phrase, you don't need to think about grammar. The whole sentence comes out naturally. Collect many useful phrases for daily life and practice them again and again until they become automatic. Method 4. Practice short sentences every day. You don't need to make long, difficult sentences. Start with short and easy ones. For example, "I like coffee. It is raining today. I will call my friend." Say them out loud many times. The goal is not to be perfect, but to train your tongue and brain to work together. Method 5. Use a timer for fast speaking practice. Here's a good exercise. Set a timer for 1 minute. During that 1 minute, speak nonstop about any topic. Don't stop, don't think, just keep talking. Even if you repeat yourself, it's okay. This exercise helps you stop worrying about mistakes and trains you to keep speaking. Method 6. Role-play daily situations. Imagine real-life situations like ordering food at a restaurant, talking to a friend, or asking for directions. Then practice the conversation out loud. For example, "Hello, can I have a coffee, please?" "Sure, here you go. Thank you very much." This way, your brain learns how to respond quickly in common situations. So, these are 6 powerful methods. Listen and repeat. Think in English. Learn phrases. Practice short sentences. Use a timer. Role play real situations. If you use these methods every day, even for just 10 to 15 minutes, your brain will slowly learn to speak English automatically, just like your first language. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes that many English learners make when they try to speak. If you know these mistakes, you can avoid them and improve faster. Mistake 1. Focusing too much on grammar while speaking. Grammar is important, but if you think about rules while speaking, you will become slow. For example, you may stop and ask yourself, "Do I need past tense? Do I need present tense?" By the time you decide, the conversation is already gone. So remember, speak first and improve grammar later. Mistake 2. Memorizing only big, difficult words. Many learners think, "If I learn hard words, I will sound smart." But in real life, people use simple words most of the time. For example, instead of saying purchase, you can simply say buy. Learning common, simple phrases is much more useful. Mistake 3. Waiting for the perfect time to speak. Some learners say, "I will speak English when I am ready." But the truth is, you will never feel 100% ready. You become ready by practicing. So don't wait. Start speaking today, even if you make mistakes. Mistake 4. Avoiding practice because of fear. Fear is natural, but if you always avoid speaking, you will never improve. The more you practice, the less fear you feel. Remember, mistakes are not failures. They are lessons. So avoid these 4 mistakes. Overthinking grammar, using only difficult words, waiting for the perfect time, avoiding practice. If you stop making these mistakes, you will see progress much faster. Now I want to give you a simple daily practice plan. If you follow this plan, even for just 15 to 20 minutes each day, your English will improve and you will start speaking without thinking too much. Morning self-talk, 5 minutes. When you wake up, try to talk to yourself in English. For example, say, "I am brushing my teeth. I am making tea. Today, I will go to work." This simple self-talk makes your brain active in English from the start of the day. Afternoon listening practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Listen to English podcasts, songs, or short videos. While listening, repeat some phrases aloud. This trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. You don't need long hours, just a few minutes every day. Evening speaking practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Choose a topic like food, hobbies, or your day. Set a timer for 1 to 2 minutes and speak non-stop. Don't stop to think, don't translate. Just keep talking. If you repeat words, it's okay. The goal is to train your brain to speak freely. Before bed, review useful phrases, 3 to 5 minutes. At night, review some useful sentences you learned that day. For example, "Can I have some water, please?" "What time is the meeting?" Repeat them 2 or 3 times so your brain remembers. Now, before we finish, I want to give you some motivation and share a simple, real-life example. I once met a student who was very shy about speaking English. She always stopped, translated in her head, and worried about mistakes. But then she decided to change her practice. Every day she spoke for just 5 minutes without stopping. Sometimes she repeated words, sometimes she made grammar mistakes, but she kept going. After 2 months, she told me, "Julia, now English comes out of my mouth without thinking too much." That small daily practice changed her confidence. And remember, native speakers also make small mistakes when they talk. They forget words, they change sentences, they say or but they keep speaking. You can do the same. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Just start speaking today, even if it's simple sentences. Each day, you will grow more confident, and soon English will feel natural for you. You are stronger than your fear. You can do this. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot about how to talk English without thinking too much. Remember the key points we discussed today. Stop translating in your head. Speak phrases, not just single words. Practice every day with listening, self-talk, and short conversations. Don't worry about mistakes. Confidence is more important than perfection. If you follow these tips and practice a little every day, you will notice your English becoming more natural and automatic. Speaking will become easier, faster, and more fun. I encourage you to start today. Speak a few simple sentences aloud, repeat phrases, and don't stop even if you make mistakes. Each small step brings you closer to speaking English naturally. Thank you again for joining me. I hope to see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, you can speak English naturally, without thinking too much. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.